The train station at Red Creek was never truly quiet. Even at night, there was always something. A distant whistle, a loose sign creaking in the wind, boots dragging across old wood. But that night, something felt different. Colt Hayes stepped off his horse slowly, dust settling around his boots. The long ride had worn him down, but not enough to dull his instincts, because something wasn't right. He tied the reins loosely, let his eyes scan the station, empty benches, a flickering lantern, shadows stretching longer than they should. And then, he saw her, curled up near the far corner of the platform, half hidden behind a broken crate. At first, he thought she was just another traveler, someone who missed their train. But as he stepped closer, he realized that wasn't it. She wasn't resting. She was hiding. Her body was tense, even in sleep, like she expected danger at any moment. Her clothes told a story before she ever spoke, worn, dust-covered, not just from travel, but from running. Her hair, dark, slightly tangled, falling over her face. Her skin carried the tone of the land itself. Native. Colt stopped a few feet away, didn't get closer. He had seen enough in his life to know when someone had been chased too far. A soft sound escaped her lips. Not a word. More like a warning. She shifted suddenly, eyes snapping open. Panic. Instant. Raw. She tried to move back, but there was nowhere to go. Her eyes locked onto him. Sharp. Fearful. Ready. Colt raised his hand slightly, not in surrender but in peace. Easy, he said quietly. She didn't relax, didn't blink. Who are you? She asked, her voice low, guarded. Just passing through, Colt replied. A lie, but a harmless one. Her eyes narrowed, studying him. You're not from here, she said. Colt gave a small nod. Neither are you. Silence. The wind picked up slightly, carrying tension between them. She looked away first, but only for a moment. They're looking for me, she said. No hesitation, no story, just truth. Colt didn't ask who, didn't need to, because in places like this, there was always someone looking. For what? He asked anyway. She looked back at him, this time, something deeper in her eyes. Because I ran. That was enough. Colt exhaled slowly. He had seen this before. Different faces, same story. A person trying to escape something. That didn't let go. He looked around the station again, then back at her. A decision forming. Not rushed, not emotional. Just right. Come home with me, he said quietly. She froze. Suspicion filled her face instantly. Why? She asked. Colt didn't smile, didn't step closer. Because if they find you here, he paused. They won't ask. Silence. The offer hung between them, not safe, not certain, but real. She studied him carefully, longer this time, trying to decide if he was just another danger or something else, and for the first time that night, her fear hesitated. She didn't answer right away. The offer sat between them, heavy, uncertain. Colt didn't push, didn't move closer. He simply turned slightly, glancing toward the empty road beyond the station. They won't stop looking, he said quietly. Her fingers tightened against the wooden floor. I don't even know you, she replied. That's fair. Colt nodded. Silence again. But this time, it wasn't fear alone. It was choice, the kind that could change everything. A distant sound cut through the night. Hoofbeats. Faint, but getting closer. Her head snapped toward the sound, fear flooding back instantly. They're coming, she whispered. Colt didn't hesitate this time. Then decide fast. Her eyes locked onto his, searching, weighing. Another set of hoofbeats echoed. Closer now. The moment broke. Okay, she said quickly. Colt moved without another word. Untying his horse, he offered his hand. Not forcing, just there. She hesitated, just for a second, then took it. Her grip was cold, shaking. Colt helped her up smoothly. No sudden moves, he said softly. She nodded. He mounted first, then pulled her up behind him. For a brief moment, she froze again, not from fear of him, but from being this close to someone she didn't know. Hold on, Colt said. She didn't. Not immediately. The hoofbeats grew louder, closer. That's when she wrapped her arms around him, tightly. Colt felt it, the fear, the desperation. And then, they rode, fast. The station disappeared behind them, swallowed by darkness. The wind hit harder now, cold against their faces. Her grip tightened as the horse picked up speed. Don't look back, Colt said. But she did. For a split second, she saw them. 3 riders, dark figures, closing in. Her breath caught. They see us, she said. Colt didn't respond. He already knew. He pushed the horse faster. The trail ahead was narrow, uneven, dangerous at night. But slowing down wasn't an option. Why are you helping me? She shouted over the wind. Colt's eyes stayed forward. Because no one else did. That answer hit differently. She didn't speak again. The chase stretched longer. The distance, barely holding. The riders behind weren't giving up. And deep down, she knew something. This wasn't just pursuit. This was personal. Colt leaned slightly, guiding the horse toward a darker path. Off the main trail. Trust me, he said. She didn't answer, but her arms tightened again. And for the first time, she did. They didn't slow down, until the sound of hoofbeats faded into nothing. Only then, Colt pulled the reins. The horse came to a gradual stop near a narrow creek, hidden between rocks and low trees. Safe. For now. The night had grown quieter, but not peaceful. She let go of him slowly, her hand still trembling. For a moment, neither of them spoke, only the sound of water moving gently over stone. Colt slid off the horse first, then helped her down. This time, she didn't hesitate. Her feet touched the ground, but her balance didn't hold. She staggered slightly. Colt caught her arm, steady, firm. You're safe, he said. She didn't respond. Her eyes were somewhere else, far away. Colt watched her carefully. Who are they? He asked. Silence. The question hung there. Heavy, she pulled her arm away gently, not out of anger, but distance. It doesn't matter, she said. It does if they keep chasing. She turned toward the creek, kneeling slightly, letting her fingers touch the cold water, as if grounding herself. They won't stop, she said quietly. Colt stepped closer. Then give me a reason. She looked at her reflection in the water, distorted, broken by ripples. Because I don't belong to them anymore. That wasn't an answer. Not really. Colt crossed his arms slightly. People don't chase like that for nothing. Her jaw tightened. For a second, it looked like she might walk away. But instead, she closed her eyes and spoke. They sold me. The words came out flat, empty, but they hit like a gunshot. Colt didn't react immediately, not outwardly. Who? He asked. My own people, she said. That changed something. The air shifted. They made a deal, she continued, with men like them. Her voice cracked slightly now. I was part of the price. Colt's expression hardened, not at her, but at the world she just described. And you ran, he said. She nodded. They weren't supposed to let me live if I did. Silence again. But now, it was different. Now it had truth in it. Colt looked toward the dark horizon. They won't stop, he said again. I know. She finally looked at him. Fully. No walls. No hiding. "Why are you still here?" she asked. Colt met her gaze. No hesitation. "Because now I have a reason." Something shifted in her eyes. Not fear, not fully trust either, but something in between, something fragile. Hope. The night didn't stay quiet for long. Colt heard it first. A branch snapping. Not far. His head turned instantly, eyes sharp, focused. "They found us," he said low. She froze. Fear came rushing back, stronger this time. "How?" she whispered. "Doesn't matter," Colt cut in. He moved fast, grabbing the reins, pulling the horse behind a cluster of rocks. "Stay here," he said. She shook her head immediately. "No." Colt stepped closer, firm. "If they see you, they won't hesitate." "And you will?" That question cut deeper than expected. Colt didn't answer. Instead, he pulled his rifle from the saddle, checked it, calm, controlled. "I'm not letting them take you," he said. Simple. Final. The sound came again, closer now. Hoof steps. Voices. 3 of them. Same as before. Colt stepped away from the rocks, into the open. Deliberately. If they wanted someone, they'd see him first. The riders appeared between the trees, their silhouettes dark, threatening. "Well, well," one of them smirked. "Looks like she found herself a hero." Colt didn't move. "Turn around," he said calmly. The men laughed. "You don't understand," another one said. "She belongs to us." Colt's jaw tightened. "No," he replied. "She doesn't." That was enough. One of them reached for his gun. Big mistake. The shot cracked through the night, fast. Precise. The rider dropped instantly. Chaos erupted. The other 2 fired back. Bullets tore through the quiet, hitting rocks, sending dust into the air. Colt moved quickly, taking cover, firing again. Another rider staggered, barely holding on. Behind the rocks. She covered her mouth, trying not to make a sound, her heart pounding. This wasn't running anymore. This was war. Colt shifted position. Low. Focused. The last rider charged forward, angry, reckless. Colt waited. Perfect timing. Then fired. Silence. Just like that. It was over. Too fast. Too brutal. The night returned, but it wasn't the same anymore. Colt stood still for a moment, listening. No movement. No sound. Safe. He lowered the rifle slowly, then turned back. "She's gone," he said softly. But she didn't come out immediately, not because she didn't trust him, but because she had just seen something else. What survival really looked like. When she finally stepped out, her eyes weren't the same. She looked at him differently now, not just as a man who helped her run, but as someone who chose to fight. For her. The silence after the gunfight felt heavier than the noise. No more hoofbeats, no more threats. Just the sound of the creek again. Calm. Almost too calm. She stepped closer slowly, still watching him. Colt didn't say anything. He just walked past her, toward the horse, checking it, making sure it wasn't spooked or hurt. "You didn't have to do that," she said quietly. Colt paused for a second, then continued adjusting the saddle. "Yeah," he replied. "I did." Simple, like it wasn't even a question. She looked down, her fingers tightening together. "No one's ever done that before." Colt didn't respond immediately. He finished tying the strap, then finally turned toward her. "Then you've been around the wrong people." That almost sounded like a joke. Almost. But she didn't smile. Not yet. Instead, she walked toward the creek again. This time slower, less afraid. Colt followed, keeping some distance. "You should clean that," he said, pointing lightly toward her arm. She looked down, a thin cut, probably from the ride. She hadn't even noticed it. "It's nothing," she said. Colt crouched near the water. "It becomes something if you ignore it." She hesitated, then slowly stepped closer, kneeling across from him. The space between them. Small now. Different. Colt dipped a cloth into the cold water. "Let me," he said. She didn't pull away this time. Her hand moved forward, carefully. Trust wasn't built in words. It was built in moments like this. Colt cleaned the cut gently, his movements steady, careful, like he understood something deeper. Without asking, she watched him, not just what he was doing, but how. "You're not like them," she said softly. Colt glanced up. "No," he replied. "I'm not." A small pause. Then, "For now," she added. That made him stop, just for a second. "Fair enough," he said. And for the first time, a faint smile appeared on her face. Small, but real. The kind that hadn't existed before tonight. The fire was small, but warm. Colt had lit it near the rocks, safe enough, hidden enough. She sat across from him now, not as far as before, not as guarded. "You still haven't told me your name," he said. She looked at the fire, watching the flames move. Then finally, "Lena." Colt nodded slowly. "Lena," he repeated, as if making sure it stayed. "And you?" she asked. "Colt." Another silence, but this one was different. It wasn't empty. It was building something. Something neither of them fully understood yet, but both could feel. For the first time that night, she wasn't thinking about running, and for the first time in a long time, Colt wasn't alone. The fire had burned low, only soft embers remained. The night was quiet again, but this time, it didn't feel safe. Colt was awake, sitting still, listening. Years of living alone had taught him one thing. Silence can lie, and tonight, it was. A faint sound. Not horses, not footsteps, something else closer. Colt's hand moved slowly toward his rifle. Across the fire, Lena stirred. Her eyes opened slightly. She saw him. Alert, focused. "What is it?" she whispered. Colt didn't answer immediately. Then, "Stay quiet." That was enough. Lena sat up slowly, her heart starting to race again. The sound came clearer now. Voices, low, controlled, not the same men from before. Different, worse. Colt's eyes narrowed. "They sent more," he said under his breath. Lena's face went pale. "How many?" "Enough." That one word said everything. The fire suddenly felt too bright, too visible. Colt moved fast, kicking dirt over the flames. Darkness swallowed them again. "Listen carefully," he said quietly. Lena nodded. "There's a ridge behind those rocks," he pointed. "Stay low, don't run unless I tell you." "And you?" Colt checked his rifle again. "I'll slow them down." "No," she said instantly. "Too fast, too strong." Colt looked at her. "This isn't like before." "I know," she replied, her voice shaking, but her eyes steady. "I'm not leaving you." That hit harder than expected. For a second, Colt didn't know what to say. Then, "You don't get a choice." She stepped closer. "Yes, I do." Silence. Heavy. Real. For the first time, this wasn't about survival alone. This was about each other. The voices got closer. Shadows moved between the trees. 4, maybe 5 men, armed, organized, not just hunters, collectors. Colt exhaled slowly. "Fine," he said. "But you stay behind me." Lena nodded. No hesitation this time. He moved forward. She followed, careful, silent. The enemy stepped into view. One of them spoke, low and confident. "She's close," another voice answered. She won't get far this time. Colt stepped out, into the open, gun ready. She's not going anywhere, he said. The men stopped, surprised. Then one of them smiled. You again. Colt didn't react. Last warning, he said. But deep down, he already knew. There wouldn't be a warning, not this time. Lena stood behind him, not hiding anymore, not running. And in that moment, something became clear. This wasn't just his fight, and it wasn't just hers. Now, it was theirs. The air turned heavy. No one moved at first, just eyes, locked, waiting. Then, it happened. A gunshot split the silence, but not from Colt. One of the men fired first. The bullet tore past Colt's shoulder. Close, too close. Colt reacted instantly, firing back. The forest exploded into chaos. Gunfire echoed through the trees. Sparks flew. Dust kicked up. Lena dropped low behind a rock, heart pounding in her chest. But this time, she didn't freeze. Her eyes searched, thinking, learning. Colt moved fast, changing position, drawing fire away from her. Two men rushed forward. Colt took one down. The other kept coming, relentless. Behind the rocks, Lena saw something. A fallen gun. Just a few feet away. Her breath caught. Fear whispered, "Don't move." But something stronger spoke louder. "Stand." She moved. Fast. Low. Grabbing the gun with shaking hands. For a moment, everything slowed. The noise, the fear, the past, all of it, reduced to one choice. She stood, aimed. The man charging Colt didn't see her, didn't expect her. The shot rang out. He dropped. Silence hit, just for a second. Colt turned. Surprised. Their eyes met. She was shaking, but standing. "I told you," she said softly. "I'm not running." There wasn't time to respond. More movement. The last two men circled wide, trying to trap them. Colt moved toward her. "Stay close," he said. This time, she didn't need to be told twice. Back to back now, facing opposite directions, breathing steady. Together, the enemy attacked from both sides. Colt fired. Lena followed. Not perfect, but enough. One went down. The last one hesitated. For the first time, fear, not in them, but in him. He looked at them, both of them, and realized something. This wasn't a hunt anymore. This was a fight he couldn't win. He turned, ran, disappearing into the darkness, and just like that, it was over. No more voices. No more threats. Just silence. Real silence this time. Colt lowered his weapon slowly. Lena did the same, her hands still shaking, the weight of what just happened, finally catching up. Colt looked at her. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded, but her voice told the truth. "I don't know." That was honest, and somehow, that mattered more. Colt stepped closer, not as a protector now, but as someone who stood beside her. "You didn't run," he said. She met his eyes. "Neither did you." A pause. Then, for the first time, they both smiled. Not because it was easy, but because they survived. Together. Morning came slowly. Soft light spilled over the hills. Golden. Quiet. Like the world didn't know what had happened the night before, or maybe it just didn't care. Colt stood near the ridge, watching the horizon, still, alert, out of habit. Behind him, Lena stepped out from the small shelter of rocks. She looked different in daylight, not just tired, lighter, as if something heavy had finally loosened its grip. "You always wake up this early?" she asked softly. Colt glanced back. "Usually earlier." That earned the smallest smile. She walked closer. No fear in her steps now, no hesitation, just quiet confidence. "They're gone," she said. Colt nodded. "For now." She looked at the open land ahead. Endless. Free. "Where do I go now?" she asked. The question wasn't desperate this time, it was real. Honest. Colt didn't answer immediately, because the truth was, He had been thinking about that too, for longer than he wanted to admit. There's a ranch, he said finally. Few miles west. She turned toward him. Yours? Colt hesitated, just for a second, then nodded. It's quiet, he added. No one asks questions. That mattered. A lot. Lena looked down briefly, processing, weighing, then, Is there room for one more? She asked. Colt met her eyes. No hesitation this time. Yeah, he said. There is. Silence followed, but it wasn't empty. It was full of something new, something neither of them rushed to name. They walked back to the horse together, side by side, no distance now. Colt adjusted the saddle, then looked at her. You ready? He asked. Lena nodded, but before moving, she paused, looking back, toward the place they fought, where fear had almost won, where her past tried to pull her back. She took a slow breath, then turned away. For good. Colt mounted first, then reached his hand out, just like before. But this time, it felt different. Lena looked at his hand, then at him, and smiled. Not small, not unsure. Real. She took it, strong, certain. He pulled her up behind him, her arms wrapped around him, not out of fear this time, but choice. The horse moved forward, slow at first, then steady. The land opened ahead of them, wide, endless, full of everything that hadn't been taken from them yet. Colt glanced back slightly. You'll be safe there, he said. Lena rested her head lightly against his back. I know, she replied. A pause, then softly. Because you're there. Colt didn't answer, but he didn't need to, because for the first time, he wasn't riding alone, and she was finally going somewhere she wasn't running from, but running toward, a home.